The news out of the anime sphere is crazy right now. It's nonstop, so I figured it'd be a good time to get on here and get you guys fully caught up on all the news currently coming out. If you're a fan of Goblin Slayer, the author, one of their other works is getting anime adaptation. We got that Mushoku Tensei Knockoff series, that's getting an anime adaptation. We have an update on MAPPA's new anime that is about their production issues. There's an anime adaptation coming out for a series about a nutmaster, and also a series about a noble lady who has a thing for monster meat. But if you're interested in any of this news, definitely stay tuned. So yeah, fans of Goblin Slayer rejoice. Dracom Media has revealed that Kumo Kagyu's Blade and Bastard light novel series is getting an anime adaptation. They released a teaser promo for it, which doesn't really have much in it, as well as a visual, which looks really nice. The synopsis is deep in the unexplored reaches of the dungeon, a corpse is discovered, one that shouldn't exist. After Yamis is resurrected, his memories of his life before death are gone, and he spends his days delving into the dungeon to retrieve the bodies of the dead adventurers. Can they be revived as well, or will God reduce them to piles of ashes on an altar? Either way, he collects his finder fees, and through his skills earns some grudging respect. He's also scorned for this cold, utilitarian attitude. The living keep their distance, and he consorts primarily with the dead. That is, until he meets Garbage, a fairly young swordswoman who's the sole survivor of a massacred party. With Garbage by his side, Intermus ventures deeper, scouring the dungeon for clues for his past, avoiding monsters, traps, and the inevitability of a permanent ashen demise. Pretty decent little intro there. I think this is one series that I'll probably be pretty excited for. I believe this comes after Goblin Slayer, like their actual releases, so I'm hoping that his writing gets a little better. I'm not like a super massive fan of his character writing with Goblin Slayer. I think the writing around the dungeons and the abilities and the characters' skills themselves is really cool because it's very D&D. So I'm really excited to see if this one might actually get into more better character development for the characters. But either way, we'll see. The art style looks fantastic. I'm pretty darn sure they're probably not going to pull off that art styles for the actual anime adaptation. It's probably going to be more simplified. But yeah, the art style on the actual light novels themselves looks really, really good. Again, they're not going to pull that off. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm actually very excited for that. We'll see where it goes. Moving on, another announcement from Dracom. The Holy Grail of Eris light novel series is getting an anime adaptation. They released a teaser promo for it and a visual for it. The promo is pretty much the visual, so don't go running after it. The synopsis is Connie is a young noblewoman whose only standout quality is her sincerity. Maybe that's why she loses her fiancé and gets framed for a crime in a span of one night. Just as all hope seems lost, the ghost of the infamous villainess who was executed years ago possesses her and clears her name. With her incomparable charisma and intelligence, the spirit of Scarlet Castile turns the tables in a blink of an eye. In return, Connie insists that she help her uncover the truth surrounding her benefactor's untimely death and a conspiracy that continues to this very day. Interesting. It's a funny one of those one synopsis where you read the first part of it and you're like, oh, another villainous story. And then it's like, well, it's actually a villainous within a villainous story. So we'll see how that turns out. That sounds very interesting. Art style, once again, looks really good, but unfortunately don't have any footage for it. Moving on to MAPPA's new ZENSHU anime. Yes, that one. The one that when it first released, everybody had to drop the jokes. Oh my gosh, MAPPA is making an anime about animating. Let's see where this crap storm goes. The characters look like they're going to be overworked. I don't know. Crunchyroll released a trailer for MAPPA's new original anime, ZENSHU. In that trailer, they released a January of 2025 premiere for it, so there you go. The synopsis is, the series follows MAPPA animators as their minds slowly are melted away by heavy stress and harsh working conditions. We focus in on Jiro, who spends his day tweeting about how life is really horrible and they're wanting it all to end. I'm joking. I'm joking. The actual synopsis. After graduating from high school, Hirose starts her career as an animator. Her talent quickly flourishes, and she makes her debut as a director in no time. Her first anime becomes a massive hit, sparking a social phenomenon and earning her recognition as one of the up-and-coming genius directors. Her next project is set to be a romantic comedy movie themed on first love. However, having never been in love herself, Hirose struggles to understand the concept of first love, and as a result, she's unable to create a storyboard, causing the movie production to come to a standstill. Before MAPPA forces... It's hard not to make the jokes. It's hard not to make the jokes. A series about an issue in production and how that's going to actually play out. We'll see. We'll see. That's the early PVs for it looked really good. I'm sure it's going to turn out fantastic. The new PV they actually released is actually the anime that they actually produced before. So it's actually like an actual anime within an anime, which is always kind of cool. It was the same with Shirobako. I really enjoyed Shirobako. If you like the concept of looking at the anime industry, check out Shirobako by PA Works. It's absolutely fantastic. Does a really respectful job of showing the difficulties in producing an anime. It's like one of those things, like, to this day, whenever somebody mentions something like, oh my gosh, this happened in the production, that means they're going to have delays, I always point people to Shirobako. The production of an anime has so many elements to it, and assuming that an entire production is destroyed just because of backgrounds or something, you're not getting the full concept of how they lay out the production. It's a very complicated process that has many moving parts. And I think they did a good job of kind of portraying that there. This one, I don't know. My assumption that the series is probably going to be more about just romance rather than the actual production of anime. I don't think they're probably going to get into the nitty-gritty of anime. It's probably just going to be more of a backdrop or a vehicle in which she's doing the stuff in. Now, technically, they probably could do quite a bit with sort of portraying her discovery of love and the actual creation of the project, but that wouldn't really work out because this is supposed to be an anime about making a movie. And you're not going to really have the episodes be coming out as the discovery happens there. And yes, technically in real adaptation, that's way back there. Like, you're producing this stuff way back here before it finally comes out here. Not way back, but you're talking at least months. At least months. In good production, it's going to be years, but at least months. But we'll see. We'll see. Moving on, during the 5th Overlap Bunko All-Stars Roundup special live stream, it was revealed that The Too Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiance and sold to another Kingdom light novel, is getting a TV anime adaptation in 2025. That sentence. They released a short trailer for it. Again, not really much shown. They showed some animation in it, but it's just really just somebody turning around. It's going to be adapted by Troika, which I'm always a massive fan of Troika, so hopefully this is another really good series by them. Falia's family has produced saints for generations. It's no surprise that she's known as the greatest saint of all time and is set to marry the second prince, Julius. What no one expects is for Julius to call off the engagement, claiming that Filia's perfection makes her charmless and unlikable. Well, his loss. To add insult to injury, Filia is packed off to a neighboring country in exchange for gold and resources. Nice. Forcing her to leave her homeland, despite bracing herself for mistreatment, Filia finds a warm welcome in her new town, Shaku, where she puts her saintly abilities to good use, erecting barriers against monsters and curing epidemics. But even as she flourishes in her new life, her homeland is under threat of destruction. Sounds very, very similar to some other series, but I don't know. We'll see if this one has a different charm to it, a different twist to it. There's a lot of these kind of shipped off to another location, and they're dreading where they're going, and it ends up being like the nicest person ever, and everybody assumed that person was going to be evil. We'll see how it turns out, though. I'm looking forward to it. The art style and everything looks really fantastic, and again, I do have a lot of trust in Troika. They do some really good stuff, so we'll see. During that live stream, it was also revealed that I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire light novel is getting a TV anime adaptation. It's going to premiere next April. This one is in his last life. Liam lived as a moral, responsible person, but died deep in debt and betrayed by his wife. Reborn into the ruling family of a vast interstellar empire, Liam knows that his life is divided into the downtrodden and the ones who do the stomping. So this time, he's going to take what he wants and live for himself. Another revenge isekai. It feels like every season we're getting revenge isekais now. It seems to be like the new big thing right now. But somehow, things refuse to work out that way. Despite doing his best to become a tyrant, Liam's decisions lead to nothing but peace and prosperity for the Empire under his rule, and he just gets more and more popular. There's another thing there. It's either a revenge isekai or it's the concept of I do bad and it turns out good. Like currently in this current season, we have the I'm going to go down as the greatest villainess or whatever. And that one's all about like do evil things, but then everybody seems to really like you. I actually like that concept, by the way. I think it's, I don't know why, but it gets a chuckle out of me every time when they do something super villainous or they think it's super villainous. And then everybody's like, oh, they're so great. It is funny. It is funny. Yeah, the only problem with this one, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, is it's voiced by Tanjiro's Seiyu. This, I think when I watched the PVs, it was Tanjiro's Seiyu from Demon Slayer. And I absolutely hate his voice when he voices a character that's trying to be evil. It's just, it doesn't work for me. I don't know if it works for other people. Tanjiro Seiyu, when he does evil stuff, if it works for you, that's great. But for me, it's like, oh, it's so cringy. Like his I'm an evil person voice is so cringy. I wish it's like choose somebody else, get somebody else in here, please. I know he's super popular right now. I know his Seiyu's super popular. Come on. Anyways, moving on. During that live stream, we also got a new PV release for Headhunting to Another World from Salaryman to Big Four, and this revealed a January premiere for the series, so looking forward to that one. It's basically a salaryman. He goes to Vietnam for his job, and then he gets hit by a car, gets involved in a hit and run. He gets isekai'd or summoned to another world by a demon lord, and that demon lord enlists them into their Big Four group of their army, and he doesn't have a choice. So the PV looks okay. It looks a little bit rough. Like I will admit, it looks a little visually rough. So I don't know who's actually working on it for the actual studio. Yeah, I don't have a studio. We'll see though. It looks all right. The dragon looking girl looks cute, so we'll go with it. Our next bit of news, yes, the Mushoku Tensei Walmart brand. There's probably like so many people like, oh no, this joke again. There's some people going, lol, that joke. And there's a bunch of people that are going, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, Walmart brand Mushoku Tensei is getting an anime adaptation. This was announced during a New York Comic Con panel. It was revealed that the web novel, The Beginning After the End, is getting a TV anime adaptation in 2025 by ACAT. ACAT, I don't know, is like the greatest studio ever, if I remember correctly, but we'll see. The PVs that they released for it look good, so hopefully they did a good job with it. But yeah, Crunchyroll obviously will be doing a streaming of it worldwide, excluding Asia. But yeah, The Beginning of the End follows the thrilling journey of King Gray, a once powerful ruler reborn in the vibrant world of magic, mythical creatures, and epic battles. Now, living as Arthur Lewin, a boy with untapped potential, he discovers that his new life is filled with dangers and adventure at every turn. He meets Sylphie and enjoys teaching her magic before he's sent off to train Eris Grey Rat. Joking. From mastering powerful spells to facing fierce enemies, Arthur must use his skills and wits to protect those he cares about and uncover the secrets of his mysterious reincarnation. Along the way, he finds friendship, challenges, and a destiny that could reshape the very world around him. Okay synopsis. We'll see if it actually turns into something good. Like, putting aside the joke of Mushoku Tensei. For those who don't know, it basically, the actual web comic that this was, that is based off of, it's based off a web novel, but the web comic, I actually went there and actually checked it out, because there was like this big controversy going on at some point that they were plagiarizing Mushoku Tensei. So I went and checked the web novel, or the web comic, and yeah, sure enough, like, it looks... It's Mushoku Tensei. Like, it opens up with him being reincarnated in front of basically Zenith and Paul. Paul's over here. He's a swordsman, and then he hurts his knee, and then suddenly Zenith comes walking up and heals his knee, just like in Mushoku Tensei with him bumping his head. It almost looks shot for shot. It's not shot for shot, but it looked shot for shot. And I think they changed a bit of it, if I remember correctly, but... yeah, and then it goes through the whole process of him finding the book, and he starts teaching himself magic, and then he asks for more books, and she's super excited about it, just like Zenith was. That's about it, though. Like, be truthful. Like, it feels like that beginning segment, if you took out Sylphie, like that whole beginning segment of Rudius with Zenith and Paul, it felt very, very similar. But yeah, I went beyond those chapters, and yes, it goes into the whole thing where they join up with his former party members of his father, and they go traveling together, and then tragedy strikes them. So it's not a one-for-one, but that beginning segment just feels very similar. So that's why people say that. So anyways, we'll see if this one has its own merits. I always claim to people, you can make jokes about things being similar and whatnot. I mean, it's like Asterisk War and Chivalry Fell Knight. We had a lot of fun making fun of those first episodes. What does it do after that? We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to invest too much into this, because I think this is actually a English comic. So it's like, do I really want to invest a lot of time into something that's not even a Japanese story? It is being done by a Japanese studio. So I'm not saying like, oh, it's going to be, anime is only Japanese. But it does give me a little pause to extend myself for something that's not even Japanese. I'm here for Japanese stories, and to have a Western story sometimes gives me pause. So we'll see though. We'll see if it can catch my attention. Moving on, Kadokawa streamed a new PV for how to perform alternate world magic. They revealed a January 2025 debut for it. This one, of course, follows a reincarnation to another world. In that new world, he discovers, despite the fact that he wanted magic, this new world does not have magic. And so he figures out how to create magic. So, interesting concept. We'll see if it turns out to be something decent. The official website for the anime adaptation of the useless skill, Nutmaster, how I gained the ability to eat unlimited skill fruits without dying. Manga released a new PV, revealing a January 2025 debut. This is being done by Asahi Productions. This is the one that follows a boy who's wanting to become a greatest adventurer, and they have these nuts that you can eat that gives you a skill, and you can only eat one of them, and he eats it, and he becomes the nut master. That he's able to farm nuts. And then he accidentally eats another nut, but he doesn't die. He gains a sword saint, so he becomes powerful anyways. So funny concept start off there. The question mark is, after the punchline of the title, is there anything interesting after that? We'll have to wait and see. He's probably able to eat as many nuts as he wants, and he's able to farm the nuts, so he's just going to keep giving himself skills, I guess. We'll see. Alpha Polaris announced the Unaware Atelier Master light novel is getting a TV anime adaptation. This one looks like Bill Crannell gets kicked out of the heroes party and then becomes an atelier that fixes everything. One day, Kurt, a kind-hearted boy, is suddenly kicked out of the heroes party for being useless. He finds his aptitude for weapons, magic, and all other combat-related skills is the lowest rank, so he takes odd jobs repairing the castle walls and digging for minerals to make a living. Where his exceptional abilities are immediately revealed, he proves to be skillful in cooking, building, mining, crafting magic tools. In fact, his aptitude for every skill unrelated to combat is SSSSS ranking. Kurt, however, seems completely unaware of his talents. Oh no. Big shocker, and ends up saving people, the town, and the country through unaware actions. It's going to be one of those ones. Hopefully they get around it quickly, or they do something good with it. I get seriously frustrated with stories about people that are madly OP and they don't know about it. Like, huh? What? I'm actually really powerful? No, I'm not powerful. We'll see. He's a cute little kind boy. Like the PV, he looks like a good boy. We'll see if it turns out to be good. Like the characters in the PV itself look good. The designs themselves, again, he looks like Bill Crannell if he was like a little bit younger. We'll see if it turns out good though. The official website for the anime Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, has revealed a January 2025 debut. So that one's gonna be right around the corner. January's packing up, man. January's packing up. Additionally, we had some updates for I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and maxed out my level. They released a new PV for that for an April 2025 debut, so that's going to be a spring show. Toe Books announced that a Gentle Noble Vacation recommendation light novel series is getting a TV anime adaptation, so looking forward to that one as well. When Lizelle finds himself in a city that bears odd similarities to his own, but clearly isn't, he quickly comes to terms with the unlikely truth. This is an entirely different world. Even so, laid-back Lizelle isn't the type to panic. He immediately sets out to learn more about this strange place, and to help him do so, hires a seasoned adventurer named Gil as his tour guide and his protector. Until he's able to find a way home, Lizelle figures this is a perfect opportunity to explore a new way of life adventuring as a part of a guild. After all, he's sure that he'll go home eventually. Might as well enjoy the otherworldly vacation for now. That might be like a chill life isekai. That sounds like a chill life isekai, which those don't always work for me, honestly, but we'll see if this one can pull it off. And finally, our last bit of news. Yes, a new TV anime adaptation was announced for Past the Monster Meet Milady. And it's slated for spring of 2025, so right around the corner for that one as well. Like a proper noble lady, one must have certain acquired tastes. Oh my gosh, this name. For Mephira Marchareld. I'm sorry if that's a certain name in a certain language and it's perfectly easily and pronounceable for you. Melfi, I'm going to call her Melfi. For Melfi, she just happens to crave a rather exotic protein, monsters. But do not judge. Despite its bad reputation, monster meat can be used in exquisite cuisine, and Melfi is determined to change the kingdom's opinion of it. Unfortunately, since debuting in society, Melfi has been struggling to find her perfect match, until she meets the fearless, blood-mad Duke, Galbraith. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. That one actually could be really funny. So far all we really have for is like an art for it, and for the original series, so I don't know exactly how they're going to do with the style itself, how it was going to turn out, but we'll see. Decent little synopsis. We'll see where it goes from there, but that's it. That's all the news I have for you guys today. If I miss a news bit about a certain show that you're really excited about, I'm sorry. You can put down in the comments down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know what you thought of this news bit. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciated if it does. Until next time, y'all take care.